Runaway Pram. Of all the things I've ever done, this would have to be the most stupid. I'm lying on my back, squashed into a pram, sucking a dummy, waving a porky pig rattle, wearing a nappy. Danny is pushing me down the hill. He can hardly walk for laughing. "Goo gaga," I gurgle. "Good baby," says Danny. We spend the whole morning walking around the streets inspecting the piles of junk left on everyone's nature strips for the hard rubbish collection tomorrow. That's where we found the pram. It's a big old-fashioned one with large wheels, curved mudguards and high chrome handle. The pram is a bit battered, but it still goes, and it's got great suspension. And if that wasn't enough, there was a garbage bag full of old baby clothes and toys to go with it. Putting on a nappy and going for a ride just seemed like the obvious thing to do. The dummy is starting to taste a bit rubbery. I take a deep breath and spit it out. It hits Danny in the eye. "Bad baby," he says. He lets the pram go. I start to roll down the hill. I scream. Danny grabs the pram. "Just tricking," he says. "Good one," I say. He lets go again. I roll for a couple more seconds, but this time I'm only a little bit worried. He grabs the pram again. "You're an idiot." "What am I?" "An idiot." He lets go again. I roll faster this time. He lets me roll a few more meters. "Danny!" I say. He laughs and runs to catch me. But just as he's about to grab the pram, he trips and falls flat on his face. The pram starts to take off down the hill. For real this time. "Danny!" I yell. I'm flying down the hill. I try to jump out, but it's going too fast. But if I don't jump out, I'm going to cross the road at the bottom of the hill and smash into number 21's brick fence. I see a man watering his nature strip. It's Mr. Broadbent, our next-door neighbour. "Mr. B!" I yell. "Mr. B, help!" He turns around. I'm kneeling up in the pram, waving my porky pig rattle. "I can't stop! Stretch your hose across the road!" He shakes his head and turns back to his watering. Mr. B and I don't get along too well. I know I can be a bit annoying at times, but that's no excuse for ignoring a fellow human being in distress. "I'll be back!" I yell. I look over my shoulder at number 21's rapidly approaching brick fence. Actually, I think it's me who's going to be sorry. Unless... I look at the porky pig rattle. I can use it as a brake. I reach down and jam it in the front wheel spokes. The rattle shatters. "Thanks for nothing, Porky." What do I do now? I notice that the pram is veering slightly to the right. Maybe if I leaned over a bit more, I could get round the corner, away from the fence and down the next hill. That hill is even steeper, and it has an intersection at the end. But it does eventually level out, and the traffic shouldn't be too bad at this time of the day. It's got to be worth a try. I lean over the side and look back at Danny. He's running down the hill, but there's no way he's going to reach me in time. The pram is almost tipping over. I'm on 2 wheels. Sparks are flying off the wheel rims, but it's working. I hear the sound of metal screaming. I close my eyes. I open them again and look over the top of the pram bonnet. The hill seems steeper than I remembered, but then I haven't seen it from this perspective before. I hear barking. I look across the road. It's the bull terrier from number 19. "So long, dog breath," I call. He throws himself against the fence. Everything's going my way now. I've even got a green light at the intersection. Oh no, I don't believe it. I had a green light. Now it's yellow. Now red. Now I'm in trouble. The crossroad is full of traffic. On either side there are cars, buses, trucks and motorbikes, all ready to take off right over the top of me. I have to make them stop, but how? I know. I grab the bag of baby gear and pull out a baby doll. It's pretty wrecked, but it's still very realistic. It might just do the trick. "Sorry about this," I say, "but it's either you or me." I throw the doll as far ahead of the pram as I can. It lands right in front of all the traffic. The cars and trucks squeal to a halt. I rocket into the intersection. There's nothing in my way. Well, nothing except for the doll. The pram hits the doll and flips up into the air. I hang onto the sides as it does a complete somersault. All I have to do now is land safely. I look over the side of the pram. I'm heading for a fire hydrant. Smash! The fire hydrant casing comes off and a fountain of water sprays out the side. It blasts the back of the pram and sends me hurtling down the stretch of road that I was hoping to slow down on. I hear a huffing and panting sound behind me. Thank goodness, Danny! I look around. Oh no, it's not Danny. It's the bull terrier from number 19. He's broken out and is chasing me. He's gaining on me too. I grab my bag of baby stuff and pull out the first thing that comes to hand. A plastic bottle. I throw it at the dog. It hits the road and bounces off into the gutter. I reach into the bag again. I grab something smooth and hard. A container of baby powder. Perfect! I can create a smoke storm that will choke the dog and give me time to disappear. I throw the powder, it hits the ground, the container explodes, an enormous cloud of perfumed white powder billows out behind me. But it doesn't stop the dog. He runs straight through it as if it was, well, baby powder, I guess. The only difference now is he's whiter and madder, and he's gaining on me. I have to speed up. I've got a strong tailwind. Why not take advantage of it? I removed my nappy. Luckily, I left my undies on. There's a wire coat hanger in the pram, so I rig the nappy up on a sort of coat hanger sail frame. The wind catches the nappy, and I go speeding forwards. Soon the dog is just a speck in the distance. I hear bells. Uh-oh. Bells can only mean one thing. A railway crossing. A train is heading for the crossing, and the boom gates are coming down. But it's okay. I think I'm going to go fast enough to make it under the gates and cross the tracks in time. I push the pram bonnet down so it doesn't catch on the gate and duck right down so I don't hit my head. I come to a sudden stop. I made it under the boom gate all right, but now the wheels are stuck in the tracks. The train is almost on top of me. I close my eyes. This is it. The big one. What a stupid way to go. Sitting in a pram wearing nothing but a pair of undies. Then, above the dinging of the bell and the roar of the train, I hear the huffing and panting again. I look up. It's the dog, barreling towards me with his head down. He's going to give the pram the headbutt of the century. No! Stop! There's no sense in both of us dying. Wham! The force of the dog hitting the back of the pram sends me hurtling forwards across the tracks under the boom gate and speeding off down the road again. I look behind me. The train is clattering through the crossing. The dog is nowhere to be seen, but I can't worry about him now. I've got my own problems. I'm heading straight towards two men carrying a large sheet of glass. They see me coming. Their faces drop. I veer left so that they can keep going across the road, but they go left. I veer right to try squeeze through the gap on the other side, but they go right. Get out of the way! I yell. Now they're just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I notice a road off to the right. I've got to take it. I lean over to get the pram onto two wheels again. There's a great crash of breaking glass. I glance behind me. It's the dog! He's just run right through the sheet of glass. He is indestructible. The men are waving their arms and yelling, "Stop!" They yell. What? Are they crazy? What's I turn around. I'm not on a road at all. I'm on a freeway ramp. And even worse, I'm heading towards a big red sign that says, "Wrong way, go back." I can't. I'm going too fast. I'm going to be on the freeway in seconds. But the ramp has a sharp bend. There's no way I can make that turn. I crash to the curb. I go flying out of the pram, over the sign and over the sound protector barrier. I'm hurtling down into somebody's backyard. This is going to hurt. Think of the biggest and baddest bike accident you have ever had and then multiply it by 15,000. Now take that number and raise it to the power of 10. It's probably going to be about 17 million times worse than that. I don't believe it. A trampoline. I land on my stomach and bounce so hard that for a moment I feel the ground through the thin layer of trampoline rubber. But it's only for a moment. I shoot back up into the air, away from the trampoline, away from the backyard, and towards a high wooden fence. I think I'm going to make it, but it's going to be close. I flap my arms to give me extra lift. I skim over the top of the fence, but only just. A nail catches my undies and they're pulled off as I sail over. I'm flying through the air, naked. Actually, it's not such a bad feeling. In fact, it's kind of nice. I can feel the wind in places I've never felt the wind before. And my luck seems to be holding. I'm heading for a swimming pool. It seems strangely familiar. A man and a woman are lying on banana lounges by the side of the pool. They seem familiar too, but I haven't got time to work out why. I have to prepare for splashdown. I close my eyes and make my body into the shape of an upside down V so that I don't go too deep. Splash! A perfect landing. I swim to the surface, shake my head, wipe my eyes. Uh-oh. Now I know why this man looks familiar. It's my dad's boss and his wife. "Hi, Mr. Bainbridge. Hi, Mrs. Bainbridge. Just thought I'd drop in." I don't know why they are looking so surprised. It's not like this is the first time I've appeared in front of them without warning, without my pants. There was the time I got stuck in their bathroom window, and the time I fell out of the dining room roof. But to be fair, I guess this is the most spectacular. I guess you're wondering how I got here. Well, I can explain. Mr. Bainbridge holds up his hand. "No, Andy, please don't." Getting up out of his chair. "It's not necessary. I'll just go ring your father." Mrs. Bainbridge is holding her hands up to her eyes. Mr. Bainbridge helps her up and they go inside. I kick back and float across the pool. I can't believe it. I survived. That was the most terrifying ride of my life. I can't wait to get home, fix up the pram, and do it all over again.